Introverts of Reddit, imagine it's a reverse pandemic, and to not get sick and die, you had to spend all of your time outside, with other people and in crowds. How would you cope? Do you survive? Like how many people? If I could just spend time with my close friends I would be fine, but large noisy crowds all the time would probably be deadly. So it would probably be the inverse of COVID restrictions, so, obviously it's different around the world. If you were home it would have to be more than 10 people. Maybe I could find 10 friends for this could work. That's something I didn't think of. But also you would have to make sure you didn't get on each other's nerves. I mean, even 2 people in the same house for months can be perilous. I wonder if people would be more or less tolerant if their lives depended on it. The people don't have to stay the same, it's not Corona, remember? We could just go and meet all our families at once, and then we could spend time with our family's 10 people circle and then circle back to our friends that way. If it is really the reverse, it would have to be all different people all the time. I don't mind meeting new people since I am curious about them, and I'm not actually shy, but all new people all the time, no breaks? I like this less and less. Very good point. And also, public transport would be the only way to travel. Too risky by car. Then we would be the ones making all the "I'm depressed because of the pandemic" threads. And the extroverts would be saying, "Lol, nah, just go out and meet some new people. You told me that the last 29 years, Mom." Then after a few weeks turns out I'm not as extroverted as I thought I was. Can't wait until this has all gone away and I can just watch Netflix again. Nah, I'm still just as introverted as I was before the pandemic. I work from home and I only really interact with my girlfriend in person. It's effing heaven. I love my friends, but they can be so goddamn exhausting. It's great having some distance between us from time to time. And the longer this pandemic goes on, the more I realize I don't mind that from time to time having very short intervals. Agreed. The pandemic has been an amazing time for me. I also work from home and only really interact with my husband. The only thing I really miss is my one social event of the week when one of my friends would come over to drink wine and bitch about work, but even then I don't miss it that much. My extrovert husband, on the other hand, absolutely misses spending time with groups and friends, but he is better able to empathize with me now, so that's a big plus. Same. My boyfriend is going crazy saying he misses people and being out at bars, and I'm over here just enjoying being home every single day. Lol. A grocery or Target trip a couple times a week is enough stimulation for me. Costco and fries, Kroger, but Arizona, for me. And I still stuff the wireless and ear headphones in before I make it to the door. That's still plenty enough people for me. I have to see them and be with them, I don't have to hear them. Do I have a bad attitude? Maybe. Probably. Don't care. Nah, I do all my pandemic shopping alone with headphones in until I get to the register. Ain't no shame in ignoring the world when, there's a pandemic. You need to find a girl to get some ice cream with. Ma, I told you I'm gay. No one said you had to have sex with her, we said ice cream, not sex. There'd be more threads too, we live here. I consider myself an introvert, but also am depressed because of the pandemic. I used to be able to take my young children to the movies during the day, indoor playgrounds, IHOP was a favorite treat, science museum, etc. Now I can't do anything with them. Home all day every day. At least during the beginning of the pandemic we could spend a lot of time exploring outdoors or going to the zoo. Now it's too cold to do even that. I guess I'll just die. After thinking about this, I actually feel really bad for extroverts. This is what they have to deal with. Wow, I didn't even think about that. I feel bad for extroverts now too. My husband is an extrovert and it has been hell on him mentally. He desperately wants to go out and hang with friends. The only time we interact with other people is when we go to the pediatrician's office for our son, and he will talk the doc's ear off. How about playing a game with them? My boyfriend's coworker started World of Warcraft, so we joined. We both played before, and now we have our own little guild, and playing together while talking on Discord is lots of fun. Warzone and hell, even No Man's Sky is a godsend for that very reason. Cross-platform voice chat? Game changer. I've been helping some friends with Minecraft. They're the first to jump into Discord's BC. That's what my extrovert does once or twice a week, and it seems to help. Luckily, he has to video chat a ton for work, and he has a running text group with his friends so he doesn't feel so isolated. Doesn't help that we moved far away from his close friends the year before, so now the pandemic is preventing us from seeing our parents and friends back home. Can't wait for this to be over, despite the fact that I have no idea how I'm going to reacclimate to being so much busier and more social after this is mitigated. I'm going to start referring to my husband as my extrovert from now on. I know, right? That was so adorable. Lol, my extrovert. A tiny social pet. My boyfriend is an extrovert too, and this whole thing has really effed with our dynamic. I'm pretty dual, in that I can really enjoy being outgoing and with people I like, but I also can spend long periods of time at home on my own and I don't mind it. He doesn't have that ability, and it's just made him irritable and annoyed at everything, even though we do still see people that are also working from home, not going out. Just not enough people. Kind of can't tell if it's just his extroversion or he can't stand being alone with his thoughts. Embarrassed smiley face. For me, I'm introverted, so I can just kind of chill in my own little bubble for quite a long time. Occasionally I miss human contact, but usually a phone call or whatever will tide me over. For him, silence and solitude are to me what a loud room full of people is. He's slumped into a kind of depression. He's taken on a bunch of house renovations, but there are some days I see it's difficult for him to get the motivation to get off the couch. He started calling people while he is doing things around the house, and I think that's helped. But we live together and we aren't doing anything. There's only so much we can talk about. Yeah, it's been a rough year. I'm an extrovert and it's been absolute hell. I've been able to manage well by being in Discord with friends and playing video games when we all find free time, usually in the evening. I can't wait until I'm able to have a bunch of friends come over to play some board games. Thank you for saying this. My husband is as introverted as I am extroverted. He has been thriving. He says that this has been the happiest months of his life. I, on the other hand, have been mostly miserable. I do love all of the one-on-one time that I've had with my kiddo. If I hadn't been hiding away from the world this past summer, I would have been so focused on taking my child to do all of the first things: pool, zoo, Highland games, fairs, etc. I don't think that our bond would be quite so strong. But as far as being an extrovert, I'm basically what would happen if Leslie Knope and Michael Scott had a baby together. Being away from my family and friends is emotionally draining, and FaceTime and phone calls just isn't the same at all. I had a dream the other night that my best friend came over and we just hugged for an hour, and I woke up crying because I just miss her so much. Honestly, if I didn't have my baby, I'm not sure that I would have made it. I would have most likely risked my health, a huge risk because I'm an asthmatic diabetic, and life to be around people because the alternative is pretty bleak. It's also been hard to watch my baby play with himself in the mirror and get excited when he sees babies on TV. My brother, who lives less than 5 minutes away from me, has 2 preschoolers, and last summer I had plans for them and my kiddo to become best friends, and that didn't happen. Anyway, sorry to rant. I just wanted to thank you for recognizing that being locked down is emotionally draining for extroverts. I am very grateful to my introvert husband for recognizing that this has been hard for me. It means a lot. Edit to add, just because my husband is happy that he doesn't have to go out and be around people and has been happier about that than he's ever experienced otherwise doesn't mean that he's blind to the absolute crap show that the country is experiencing right now. But considering that there were a few weeks where he had to talk me down from driving 90 minutes north to the Canadian border and request asylum, I'm pretty grateful for his level head at this time. Feels bad, but also this is the first time my extrovert friends have been able to say, I get it. My friends finally understand what it's like being an introvert in a world that prizes extroversion. Anyway, the bloodline was going to end at me. Big mood. Same. I would find a bunch of introverts and hang out with them. We would all just have earphones on. We would be in a crowd, outside, and quiet. Edit, wow, I woke up this morning to 250 notifications. Thanks for the awards. That's actually something I didn't think of. You start to live in groups/communities similar to you. Kind of what happens now with clubs and whatnot, but never-ending clubs. And you might go to different groups depending what mood you're in. There might be a quiet part of the city, loud part of the city. Very interesting. Edit. As a middle-aged man, I of course have a podcast and it's about stupid questions like this. It's called Is This a Stupid Question? Podcast if anyone wants to check it out. Together alone. Alone is derived from all one. That's bullcrap, but I'll believe it for now. Haha, I'm serious, it really is. Web link. I never once in my life thought I would learn an interesting piece of information from a Reddit thread. Why? There's so many people into niche Y subjects and specialists on here, no one cares what we have to say in real life about our passions. Reddit is our place to shine. I mean, have you even asked r/what is this bug anything? Or asked r/what is this thing what a thing is? Someone on here knows all the F about it and can describe the tiny little differences between similar things. I learn from Reddit all the time. Reddit link. Well, usually I don't dive too deep into comment threads, but this one just happened to pique my interest because I think etymology is kind of cool. Edit, there I changed it. Delving deep into comment chains is the only real pleasure I get from Reddit. Browsing headlines and memes is fine, but the good stuff happens here. The more you do it, the more you hone your sense of when to abort because the thread or even the entire comment section is becoming circle jerky or toxic. There's a lot of genuine conversation to be found around Reddit when you can dig past all that. Etymology is super interesting. I took an etymology class for my major, English Lit, and really got into it. If you're ever bored, look up an etymological dictionary and just browse. Evolution of language is one of the most interesting parts of our history in my opinion. Since we're on the topic of language, it's peak. I hope I don't come off as a douchebag, but the correct way to write this would be pique my interest. I mean, just go into an indie bookstore or coffee/tea shops and you'll see this dynamic. Lots of people sitting around reading or working quietly. As far as social interactions go, it's bliss and like the only place I can hang for hours. It really is. And it's why you'll also see a lot of students and freelancers working out of coffee shops. There's something about working in a place with other people, where there's constant low-key background noise that enhances productivity, I think. It's interesting how some people have it like that. I can never work in places like this, distracts too much. I've always wanted to move to an apartment complex with only quiet residents. One loud party and you're out. When I was on night shift, my team and I would often discuss the idea of having an apartment complex specifically for night shift workers, where the quiet hours were reversed and maintenance happened in the evenings. It would be amazing. We sort of have that. Our complex is in a developing area of Henderson, Las Vegas suburbs, with a hospital right across the street, so I would say like 65% plus are night shift workers. Never had noise issues at night. The thicker the walls, the better the neighbors. I got lucky with my place. You can't hear your neighbors even if they were yelling at the top of their lungs. The walls are made of super thick concrete and the doors are made from some really heavy and thick wood material. I wish more apartment and condo buildings included this. Interesting idea. I'd rather just move into a house with no close neighbors. Apartments have plenty of other downsides beside just noisy tenants. You get to share infestations. And fires. Yup. I live in the country and the only thing I can hear of my neighbor is his air compressor, which I don't mind because we also have an air compressor and I'm very used to it. Sometimes I can hear snippets of his garage radio if it's summer when I have the windows open, but I don't mind that either. Live in a pack. Introverts would just start gathering in a secluded part of the city and mind their own business. Just a quiet place in town to hang out in, far away from the extroverts. And they'd call that place the library. I vote this person as our leader for the reverse pandemic. See, someone's always thinking. This is a great idea. Never underestimate an introvert's creativity when it comes to avoiding human interaction. See, someone's always thinking. Like Stephen Hawking. I'm pretty sure he's no longer thinking. Well, he had a good run. He really was on a roll. If only I had a wholesome award. Your wish was granted. But there'd be that one butthole who would show up at the group event and actually want to interact with everyone. Hey everyone, let's go around the room and introduce ourselves and tell everyone an interesting fact. Let's start with the guy in the back corner trying not to make eye contact with anyone. Oh geez, you just gave me flashbacks to the 2017 building events I've been forced to attend over the years. Team building icebreakers should be listed right next to waterboarding in the category of banned advanced interrogation. Not having to do team building or any other awkward go-around-the-room intro things has been a godsend of this pandemic. I may have met 0 new people this past year, but it sure has been nice not to have to break any ice. I still haven't been able to avoid it, they still have them. Now they just do it over Zoom. We had daily team meetings too, and our boss suggested moving them to once per week. Everyone agreed except for this one talkative woman who likes to see everyone daily, so because of her we still have to do them 3x weekly as a compromise. I wanted to smack her through my computer screen. Oh my, I literally only know this piece of information about her and yet I hate her. She is the worst. She also is the person who keeps the meetings from being over in 5 minutes. Most people just say I'm good, nothing to share with the team, but she will talk and talk and talk. Drives me nuts. OMG, I'm such an introvert. This one time. Please shut up. Please shut up. Please shut up. I can just imagine the news stories about extroverts being beaten in public by crowds of introverts. In complete silence, of course. All that is heard is the screams of the extrovert, and eventually not even that. Bold of you to assume we can be that confrontational. A small price to pay for eternal silence. We found a loophole. Introverts together strong. Kind of like a pre-COVID Starbucks? There were middle-aged women in yoga pants yelling there. No. I absolutely would not make it after the first 2 months. This is ideal. As long as I don't have to interact too much, I'm actually golden. The headphones is a good addition as well. You just saved my life. That is the equal opposite of what I'm doing in lockdown. I am playing more online games with friends, actively meeting up for walks and FaceTiming people. Amazing. It's basically the opposite of the opposite. We need to go deeper. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.